ThaBoxingvoice.com here with the WBC welterweight champion of the world, Showtime Shawn Porter. Brothers, great as always. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you liking PBC on Fox, man? Is it working out so far?
You know, I like it. I was just talking to somebody earlier. I think it's very different what they're doing tonight. They're doing it with Jerry Hurt. Instead of having undercards before the main event, they're having it after. And to be honest, I feel like it actually could help the ratings for like the FS1 card and things like that. But you know, the best thing about it to me, in my opinion, is just getting the casual household fans that are just flipping through the channels. You know,
I think that's gonna happen. I know. It's cool because you be at BW3s or you're at Applebee's or you're at Chili's or something like that. And boxing is just on TV now. You know, which is cool. I'm someone that supports boxing. I don't support, you know, one or two fighters and that's it. You know, I support boxing. So it's cool to be a part of PBC and it's cool to see it just on TV wherever I'm at. You know, I feel like even though I'm not the one on TV, when people are watching and they're just tuning in and they don't know who it is, I feel like that's a part of me. You know what I mean? Like we have that other opportunity that we haven't had before or in some time now. You know?
Definitely. No, you make a great point. We're here at the Dignity Health, formerly StubHub, where a little over a month ago, you yourself were in the ring here on Fox. Very different fight against Ugas. He's a very awkward, you know, Cuban, just very different fighter. You came out successful in that. You know, looking back at it now, have you had time to rewatch your fight?
Yeah. We watched it in my mind quite a few times, obviously on TV. And you know, I stand firm on what I thought the decision should have been. I thought it should have been unanimous, and I thought that, you know, aside from a round or two, we had the fight, you know, completely locked. That's it, man. I think that you know, we did something different, and I don't think everyone was really expecting that. I think to some people it may have even looked like I was struggling, but you know, we felt comfortable in the corner. I felt comfortable during the course of the fight. I was joking with my strength and conditioning coach, and he said,
Larry Wade.
"Yeah, Mr. Wade." We're talking, and he says, "Yeah, man." He said, "You know, he hit you a few times, and you didn't even flinch." And I said, "No, there was one time he hit me with a body shot." And I remember just thinking in the moment, like as soon as I got hit with the body shot, I remember thinking, oh yeah, he is a good body puncher, you know, and then I could just continue to do my thing. But just to give you a small glimpse of my mind and how comfortable I was, you know, with the situation where I was and how I was performing, I thought everything was going according to plan. Yeah,
absolutely. So your fight was here March 9th. Previously, you were in the ring at the Barclays in September against Danny Garcia, who is fighting obviously here tonight. Ugas was on the undercard. You came out successful, claimed that WBC title. I know it meant a lot to you. Post-fight, we had Errol Spence, the IBF champ, step into the ring. I felt very respectfully. And, you know, as for the fight, obviously you had a mandatory to comply with. Now that that's handled, now that he, you know, his fight last month was successful as well. Your father's very firm on that's next for you. How do you feel about that?
You know what? If that's not next for me, there's got to be something humongous instead in order for us to get in the ring. I don't think we're looking at getting in the ring with anyone other than Errol Spence. My dad knows how I feel. He knows that that's a fight that I just top to bottom I want. I think that another opportunity, a lot like when I fought Keith Thurman, and I wasn't going for Keith Thurman's WBA. I was going for the O, you know. And the same thing goes with Errol Spence. You know, I'm wanting to claim and be that guy that beat Errol Spence. You know, and that's what gets me giddy. That's what gets me excited. And that's why I want that opportunity, the opportunity to fight Errol Spence. I mean, outside of that, I think it's just a unbelievable fight.
Absolutely.
I think the styles are perfect. I think the energy and the fighters are perfect, and myself and Errol Spence. I think we do most of the right things in the ring, and I think that, you know, seeing it up against each other would be cool.
Absolutely.
Be great for the fans.
Errol Spence, when that fight does happen, because I am very confident that it will happen.
Oh, it will.
Hopefully next, right? But when that fight happens, most could say that Errol Spence would probably be one of, if not the most familiar fighter you've stepped into the ring with. Your father worked with him a lot, so you guys know each other a lot. You've known each other for a very long time. What do you know about Errol, and what did you see in his performance against Mikey Garcia that you know that's what I got to watch out for?
You know what? I'm going to clear it up before it goes any further. My dad has done some things with Errol Spence. My dad hasn't been Errol Spence's #1 trainer.
Right.
My dad hasn't, so I don't want Errol to see that and be like, oh, Kenny didn't train me. Kenny took you to a couple of international duels across the country. He was qualified to do it, and he was the one that was giving you directions in the corner. Whether he followed those directions, whether he appreciated those directions, that's up to Errol. I don't know. But I do know that once upon a time they did do some things together and were successful doing them. My dad knows a lot about Errol. I know a lot about Errol's personality. I think your personality shows up in the ring more than anything else. I think my dad always says the truth will show up in the ring, and that's funny because that's his nickname.
Of course.
But my dad always says the night of the fight will tell the truth about who you are and what you did in camp and what you're capable of. And I think that is exactly what is proven about Errol Spence. And there's no doubt about it that he's a very, very dominant fighter. I think the #1 thing that I've learned about Errol is that in order to stop him from being dominant, you got to dominate him. You got to continue to switch up the pace, switch up what you're doing, and make it hard for him to get comfortable and get into a rhythm. And I think if you know anything about Showtime Shawn Porter, that's what you know. I'm good at getting people uncomfortable. Absolutely. And I kind of thrive on that, so that works into my favor. And I think the best part about it is I'm comfortable with the understanding of what I have to do in order to make him uncomfortable. I'm good with everything that it's going to take to be prepared for the fight. And I think that's the difference with myself and other guys he's been up against. I think that where other people may doubt or other people may have questions or may even feel like, well, if he does this, then I won't be able to do that. Now I'm going in there 100% confident because I know what I can do and I know what I have to do. And the best part about it is I feel good about doing it.
Besides the unification, given that you're the WBC champ, he's the IBF, is it any more meaningful given that he has the IBF title that you lost to Kell Brook and he claims from Kell Brook?
Are you asking if either belt is more important?
No, I'm asking, does it have any more significance to you to get that IBF belt back?
No.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, man, the belt's on the line. We're gonna pay the sanctioning fees, but for me, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna keep my WBC. Man, that's my second baby right there, and I want to keep that, but I want to beat Errol Spence. I want to go in there and just, make it uncomfortable, make him have to make adjustments, make him have to question himself, make his corner question what they should do, what's going on, so on and so forth. And I know I got the ability to do that. So I'm just looking forward to fighting him and beating him. That's it, man. The others, the belt, the IBF, that's extra, Obviously, I want to get paid, but, getting paid, to me, that's extra. You talk about legacy. You talk about beating the best. Not only being in the ring with the best, but beating the best.
Absolutely.
And those are goals that I have to accomplish, Errol Spence is the guy. I want to beat the guy.
Now, I have to ask, before I get to that, you said the WBC title is your second baby.
Yeah.
Obviously, your first, your son, Diggy. How's he doing?
Diggy's a monster, man. For a quick funny story, I'm messing with him, and I try to teach him how to growl. So a fan gave me this just a minute ago, and so I'm a Browns fan.
Absolutely.
And we have what we call is the dog pound. So
right.
We bark. Here we go, Brownies, woo woo. So right now I know he can't bark, but I'm trying to teach him how to growl.
Right.
So we're at the fight day before the weigh-in, I think, and I'm teaching him how to growl, and he's growling a little bit. We leave the hotel room to go down to the lobby. He's still growling. I'm growling with him. I don't see Ugas, but I see his team. I want to be cordial. I'll go over there and shake his team's hand, and he's still growling. And I shake their hands, and as I shake their hands, he's still growling.
Right.
He's not growling at them, but I say, yeah, Diggy, growl at him. So he's growling, and he's smiling and he's loving it. But he's a ball of joy. He's full of energy, just like me. Very, very determined at everything, just like me. Bit of a whiner, just like his mom. But that just shows that he's got a great heart. And I'm looking forward to him getting bigger.
Now, I'm glad to know that he's doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to ask, so it was here, at the time it was the StubHub, but here where you were dethroned by Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Kell Brook is currently in New York right now tonight. We got the Bud Crawford and Amir Khan fight. Our New York correspondent, Ron, asked Kell basically his thoughts on a potential matchup between yourself and Errol, given that he's been in the ring with both of you gentlemen.
Okay.
Kell's words, not verbatim, but basically saying that he feels that Errol would stop you late in the fight. What are your thoughts on that? Knowing that is that a fight that you would even entertain maybe after Errol?
I don't think we're entertaining Kell Brook at all.
Okay.
And no disrespect, but I think once that fight happened the way that it happened and we didn't get the rematch, we started to move forward and figure out how we could get another belt. And honestly, after that fight was 2015, correct?
If I'm not mistaken, no.
That was
yeah.
no. It was 2014.
14,
2014.
yes,
After that fight was when I made my goal to get the WBC title. And so, man, just God moved in the way that I finally got that title last year. And it just was a thing where I never looked back. And obviously, we've seen the course of his career since then. I think now we're just kind of on different wavelengths. I don't take disrespect to what he said at all. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if anything, a part of my job is to go out there and prove people right and prove people wrong. And if anything, I'm just gonna go out there and prove him wrong. That Errol Spence can't defeat me. That Errol Spence can't stop me.
Obviously, the Errol Spence fight is what we want. Quickly, a timetable of your ring return, hopefully against Errol, but regardless,
I'm working. And you've heard my dad. We're working on Errol Spence and nothing else. So right now, I don't know. Okay. I actually just talked to my dad 3 days ago tops and asked him when, and he says he doesn't know right now.
Okay.
So I know that that's the fight that we want to negotiate. That's the fight we want to make happen. So right now, I'm on Errol Spence's time. He says August, September. I say August, September.
Okay.
If he pops up and says July, I'll be ready in July.
Okay.
I'm ready whenever he is.
Showtime Shawn Porter, message to the fans, champ.
I love it. I'll see y'all soon. God bless y'all.
Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.